Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today we're talking compassmining.io. As a disclaimer, this is not investment advice. This is just a research video that I put together meant to be educational as well as entertaining. We're going to take a look at a few different news clippings and articles. We're going to hear from the management and ownership from the company. Thank you for your time. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Please enjoy.
Mining is the most important part of Bitcoin's infrastructure when it comes to how Bitcoin works. Without mining, there is no Bitcoin. So with Compass and how we approach this is we understand the importance of mining, and we help people who don't know anything get in very simply by helping you plug in that computer that's going to mine Bitcoin for you directly to your wallet.
What we're trying to build is a marketplace for Bitcoin mining. It's easy for larger players to bring money into the industry, purchase these machines, build these facilities. But for the smaller guys that are attending this Bitcoin conference, it's hard for them to buy a single machine or even to run profitably. They've got nowhere to run their machines.
You can come to our company and buy one machine, you can buy 1,000 machines, whereas companies have not done that in the past. So we're really kind of pioneering that space.
Our mission is to give people the economies of scale that only typically larger investors have access to. And in doing so, helping decentralize Bitcoin's hash rate.
Compass mining takes the very difficult and complicated task of mining Bitcoin and makes it simple so everyone can do it. If you're not using Compass mining, you have to find the machines in shady Telegram rooms and get them mailed to your house, put 220 volt power in your house, and deal with over 70 decibels of noise from each machine. Where Compass mining, you buy it, it gets shipped to a data center with cheaper electricity than you have at your house, and you just start collecting Bitcoin.
For years, you weren't able to mine Bitcoin unless you had millions of dollars and access to hardware and access to these hosting facilities. And look, I wanted to mine Bitcoin and I didn't have millions of dollars. So the reason that we started Compass was so that the little guys like me could jump in with one machine and still have the same economies of scale that these massive publicly traded mining companies get. So with us at Compass, when we're talking to anyone in the industry who's a Bitcoiner, who's an investor, who's a believer, it is our absolute duty to make sure that every person has at least one ASIC on the network supporting Bitcoin and making sure that we're strengthening it and doing our part as Bitcoiners.
We're all here because we believe in Bitcoin as sound money, and we need to see Bitcoin grow. We need more people to get exposed to it and then believe in it.
You're strengthening the network. So if I'm a Bitcoiner, which I am, and I believe that Bitcoin is the future of finance, of tech, which I do, then I need to do my part to strengthen and secure that underlying infrastructure, and that's what mining does. So from an ideological standpoint, you mine to protect what you believe in, right? Like if you have a house, you're gonna put a security system on it to protect it. If you own Bitcoin, you mine to protect it.
Our goal is to help decentralize Bitcoin's hash rate and give it back to the people.
Okay, let's take a look at this article from Lynn Alden, Investment Strategy. This article came out in July of 2021, and I'm not going to go through the entire article, but I will leave everything in the description below. So feel free to take a look at it. And what really is important to understand about getting into or investing in the mining network or the mining sector of cryptocurrency is, I guess, just appreciating what miners do and the way that a miner is rewarded. So, this isn't a deep dive on that, but just as for research sake, Compass Mining is one of those companies that provides that marketplace, right? They are a service to go to instead of mining yourself. You are buying a miner and investing in it in the company and allowing that miner to do its job on the mining hardware with their hosting space. So they have different locations throughout the world. And pretty much what I wanted to showcase about this article is how Compass Mining works. It's a marketplace and intermediary that connects together entities with hosting facilities, entities with mining hardware, and entities who want to buy hosting space or miners or both. Compass makes deals with facilities that have spare capacity to host mining equipment. On their facilities page, for example, they list a variety of facilities that they have partnered with. This is just a subset of them as an example. And I think it is a nice touch to have a company that is doing this. You know, they don't have to do this, but this is what they set out to do. Finding space, the electricity, the hash power, everything is, you know, everything costs money, right? So I think of it as a nice opportunity to be involved in the mining network as opposed to building out a rig, right? And then using that power that is associated with mining. So they have the facilities charge, they have their pricing, they have everything that it's included. So, you know, we'll take a look at the website more in depth, of course, but this article really does a really nice job of giving you, you know, the nuts and bolts of everything that is associated with, you know, ASICs and what that's, you know, that is a mining rig, so to speak, is there's a shortage of them, and everything that's been happening as of recently, you know, the crackdown in China, which is where most of the miners were set up. And now, you know, there's a lot of opportunity. I see it as an opportunity, and a lot of other people will see it as an opportunity as well. So, you know, I think it's more time than not, while Bitcoin and other coins are starting to surge, that I think it's a nice, in my opinion, it's a niche network. It's a niche sector to be involved in, and if you really aren't familiar with it, then, you know, do your own homework. You know, do your due diligence, get familiar with what these companies are providing, and the estimates and the risk analysis is very, very important to understand. Again, we're not going to go into it in detail, but I think it is important to understand what it all means just to buy a rig with Compass Mining. You pay fees, you get rewarded with the rewards that they are set out to be, and everything comes at a cost. So the cost and the price of, let's just say, Bitcoin, it does have it has a say in to your profit. So I think while we're not at the extreme highs of Bitcoin, while we're kind of in this capitulation stage, if you would say, others would argue that we're in a different stage, or whatever you view it as. If you see it as, you know, going over $100,000 per Bitcoin, then I think that anytime now before that is definitely a good opportunity to get involved with it. So whether outright just buying Bitcoin or getting involved into the mining section, in my opinion, you can't go wrong. Either way, you know, I hold Bitcoin. I am thinking about making a move with Compass Mining. I have some friends that are involved with them, and they have said, and they've spoke very highly of their experience and their sales team. So, you know, I definitely just want to do a different type of research video. I normally do stocks, cryptos, ETFs, IPOs, but, you know, I think that this is something for my, you know, for my viewers and for myself to get excited about, and perhaps take a look at a different sector of the space. And, you know, everything comes at a risk, right? So anything can happen. So again, just do your own homework, but definitely take a look at this article, and I will leave it in the description. So just to reiterate, right, the article talks a little bit about the 5 steps to start mining Bitcoin. So you would visit compassmining.io, and you would check out their website there. You would then choose an ASIC. You browse the available ASIC mining machines. Our team is ready to assist with any of your machines, and this is taken from their representatives. So if you find one that you either like or don't like, or, you know, there's always that time vested to wait out into when things become more available. So just so you don't feel the pressure of just buying something just to buy it. You select a hosting facility, you choose where your machine will be operated, and they have mining facilities all over the world. Me and myself, as an American, I would probably just, you know, I would choose an American facility. No, nothing political there, just because, you know, I would come to, you know, it's just more of that sort of responsibility that I would feel amongst myself to reach out to the hosting sites, and it wouldn't take anything. All of my experience with most manufacturers and everything that I do, even in my, you know, my full-time job, I can always call up, you know, people that work at the facilities and just ask them simple questions that I have. Joining a mining pool. Once your ASIC is installed in your chosen facility, the team will configure your machine to the mining pool of your choice, which is Very, very nice. And then you receive Bitcoin. You're done. Your machines are hashing and you're mining Bitcoin. Payouts are sent to your wallet from your mining pool. And as some of my friends have explained to me, and I will just reiterate that the experience has gone over quite well for them. And that's why I'm excited to research this type of company.
So listen, mining right now is a very, very hot topic. Obviously, within the community, as I said, people are looking at it, but also we have the Elon Musks of the world talking about it and shining a light on it. Are there some obvious myths circulating around right now that you want to dispel or shed some light on?
So look, we have mining as the underlying infrastructure that supports Bitcoin. So there's a critical amount of importance on it. And at this time, it seems like there are more eyeballs than ever focused on mining for two reasons. One, we have the massive exodus that's happening in China right now. They've announced that they're banning Bitcoin, shutting down Bitcoin mining. And despite all the times that they've said this in the past, this time it is for real. We are seeing massive data centers. And when I say massive, you have to imagine 60 to 70% of Bitcoin mining is located in China. And they have literally over the course of a month wiped all of that off the planet. All of those machines have been shut down, packed up, starting to get shipped abroad, put in warehouses. It's a massive undertaking. And because of that, it's led to probably this last Bitcoin dip. That's part of the reason the Chinese people who need to move their facilities, they've had to sell some of their Bitcoin in order to move them. So there's a lot of attention on that aspect of mining. And then the other aspect is the ESG movement, right? We have this battle cry that Bitcoin is bad for the environment. There's a lot of people who have been talking about the fact that Bitcoin consumes a tremendous amount of energy, and that energy that it's consuming is dirty energy. And, we're Bitcoin miners who are stealing power that would otherwise go to power people's homes. And that's just a blatantly false FUD cycle, right? Like Bitcoin consumes a very small amount of power in the grand scheme of things. Like less than 1% of the world's entire power consumption goes to Bitcoin mining. And the majority of the power that's being used by Bitcoin miners would otherwise go unused, right? Like all of the power that used to supply Bitcoin miners in China, most of that was excess power produced in Sichuan or Xinjiang. So now you have that also happening worldwide. It's there's a lot that we could go into for sure, but what's happened with Bitcoin mining is we've tapped the woke community, right? And if you give people who are environmentalists, who are headline readers, the ability to just grasp onto something and run with it, they will. And that's what we're now facing in the mining space.
Well, Bitcoin uses more electricity than a city is a really good clickbait headline, right? And so why even dig into it? And if you see that, you assume it's true, like anything in this world, and you just say Bitcoin, bad, environment, good, right?
Right. Yeah. Oh, I mean, look, we all want a better planet. There's no one that's going to say, I want to leave the planet in a worse way than I found it. So it makes for a very easy argument. But, the power consumption associated with Bitcoin is actually a feature and not a bug. It's a good thing that Bitcoin consumes the power that it does, because that makes the network resilient. It prevents attacks, right? It disincentivizes bad actors to try to take actions, which could damage Bitcoin as a whole, which we have seen with other networks, other blockchains, right? We've seen like Ethereum Classic get 51% attacked multiple times. And that's bad for their blockchain. It's bad for the holders of those tokens, those coins. And we don't want that with Bitcoin. So it's great that the network is built and designed in the way that it is.
Okay, we are here on the Compass Mining website. And I just wanted to, showcase and kind of navigate a little bit on some of the things that perhaps, if you are interested in it, like me, myself, I'd come here, I would click on some of these tabs, and some of these questions are very, very, they're not silly to ask. What are you getting into when you get with them? What is it about it? The different types of units that they have available, and all of their their rules and their policies, everything that you can think of as far as like joining a mining pool, something that I would be very interested in. Some of these pools, it kind of really is what it's worth to get involved with it. So you have your own choice prior to installation of your mining hardware. You have a team that is relegated to helping you out, and everything that is for example, the type of the basics, how much Bitcoin will I mine per day? And some of these questions are a little bit, they're in detailed, right? They're not, they're a little technical, but because if you don't understand something about hash rate and mining pool stats and, how much an ASIC miner is producing, that can be a little bit overwhelming, I'm sure. And it is. I'm not going to lie. Like nobody, at least, I speak for myself. I am not an expert, but I do appreciate what this company has to offer. So something that I would be interested in would be like a mini bundle, or just even buying hosting ASICs with Compass. How much are Compass hosting fees, and look at this monthly hosting fee, 24 hours, 31 days in a given month, the power consumption plus the hosting price. So for example, an S19 Pro hosted at a mining facility at 0.07 cents per kilowatt hour would have the following estimated monthly hosting fee. So you're looking at about $157 per month per miner. That would be your estimated monthly hosting fee. So that can that may or may not deter you from getting involved with this, because if you think about some of the maintenance fees that go into a portfolio, for example, some of these automated brokerages that they charge zero fees, but if you're buying something that is charging you per X amount of dollars invested, then it just takes money to make money is what I'm really trying to get to. So it doesn't go without saying that you should really research more in depth before getting involved with companies that are hosting facilities and hosting and producing consuming power. All of this type of information needs to be thoroughly research before you get into it. So what if you want to stop mining? Well, let's say you get involved and you want to stop mining. Machines hosted in Compass partnered facilities can be shipped back to the owner for a fee once the agreed hosting period is finished. So there is a period that you would need to fulfill in order to complete your so to speak contract with them, and the hardware purchase. Again, nothing is free. So the only really thing that I can think of that is of consequence is just the principle, the mining aspect, the power, the energy, the responsibilities of making sure that those rigs are up and running. That is not easy to do. And you ask any home DIY miner who's doing it themselves, and I have friends that do it themselves, it is not easy. And I'm not trying to deter you one way or another, but this is a very, very well thought out plan. I like what I've seen from the ownership and the management from Compass. So that's pretty much what I got. That's all I got. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for your time. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. If there's another company, ETF, IPO, cryptocurrency that you'd like to see research, just drop it into the comment section below, and I will do my best to get to it as soon as possible. Okay, take care.